Welcome to Rick's Corner. The man, the myth, the legend. Now on with the show.
Hi, welcome to Rick's Corner. Many of you have asked me to come back with some more stories from the past of bodybuilding because they were a lot of fun. I can't always think of them, and then all of a sudden something will hit me. There's a story I forgot. I should probably tell this one. You know, getting movies and getting TV shows back in the 70s for all of us guys wasn't really that difficult because there weren't many of us around, and so the ones that were, we always got some work. It just seemed that the studios would call a gym and the phone would ring on the wall. I answered the phone and say, we need 4 or 5 bodybuilders for a commercial or for a movie or for a TV show. So we'd all go down and audition for it, and 9 times out of 10, some of us would get it. Well, I had done a movie called Mistress of the Apes. And that sounds weird, doesn't it? It was kind of like a takeoff on Planet of the Apes. It was a low-budget film from Larry Buchanan, who produced a lot of movies back in those days, and it was Screen Actors Guild rated, so I, member of the guild, I was able to get the job. So they made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 apes. We had this makeup on. It had the nose and the cheeks and the mouth and the wig, the whole thing. We looked just like Planet of the Apes. And Denny Gable and I would go together because we were hung out together. So we shot out in the Malibu Mountains, which looked like a place apes would hang out, apparently. Jenny Newman, the blonde, was the female lead. And it was like being in the jungle. So my job was to woo her and have a relationship with her. We kind of got together and we went into a tent or a cave, and I was supposed to make love to her. Well, the producer was so excited about it, he started to grab her breasts and play with them, saying, I want you to do it this way. And she says, what's going on here? You're not, Rick's supposed to be doing that, not you. But he wanted to get his hands full. So anyway, I did it, and I go to kiss her, and of course, I had these big lips on, so it was a mask, you couldn't do anything. And then I get in a fight with Denny Gable with a girl, and we have a hatchet fight with an axe. I end up hitting him in the skull and beating him with the axe. So on that particular show, they had caterers who brought the foods in, and all of us like to eat. And they made the best meals you would ever want in your life, with pot roast and tri-tip and all this stuff. And we go back to our trailer and eat, but the problem was we couldn't get the food in our mouth because the lips stuck out so far that you couldn't reach in to put the food. So we'd end up throwing steak in each other's mouth and rice and whatever we could and try to catch it all. By the end of the day, when we took our mask off, it was all full of rice and our chin was all over the place. But those were the laughs that we had. And, everybody was funny, and so I had to go catch a rabbit for dinner, and I'm running down the hill, and I had flip-flops on, and I slip and I fall. So because of that, they sent me to the medic. Are you okay? I said, I don't know, I kind of twisted my back. So they sent me to a doctor. The doctor says, you could possibly have a herniated disc. So I had to make a report out. Because of that, they gave me disability for, 6 or 8 months at $300 a week, and then cashed me out for $20,000. So I go to the insurance company, and it was a nice young girl there, and I'm talking to her. I said, I'm done. She said, yeah, we're going to have to send you a check, but the judge wants to send you 2 checks at different intervals because they don't want you to squander the money. I've never heard of such a thing. I mean, why would I get 2 separate checks for $10,000 each? So she said, I'll mail them to you when they're done. I said, okay. So she did, and she accidentally, on purpose, sent me both checks, so I got all the money at once. But we worked with 2 girls that were Playboy models, and one of them, I can't think of her name, but she was really, really pretty. And we go and we talk to them afterwards, and they were always coming on to us because we had these masks on. Because we were hiding behind our character, they were turned on to the fact that we were apes. Really, really excited about it. They said, when the shoot's over, come to our trailer, let's have a good time, we'll play around. So Denny and I were the first. He goes, man, I'm on that. I said, okay, me too. So we take the makeup off the end of the day, and it took like 2 hours to put this shit on. We go over their trailer, and they said, hi. I said, well, I'm Rick, and this is Denny, and we don't have our masks on. And they said, okay, really nice to meet you, and they left. I guess the excitement of hiding behind a character was more exciting to them than the real thing. But that was a fun situation. Then a bunch of us went out and we got hired to do the movie Sexed Out with Mae West. Now Mae West is an icon. She comes from way back at WC Fields and all this and that. And so I had a scene with her in the gym where she walks in and I'm lifting something and she goes, "Oh, all this meat and no potatoes. Is that thing heavy?" I said, "I won the Olympics last year, but I got a hernia." She says, "Well, you better give it some rest." She said, "Did you get a medal?" I said, "No, I got a hernia." So Denny and all these guys, we all work on this show together, and we ended up making a cover of a muscle magazine because they liked us a lot. And they brought food down, and Cal Skellick had a whole bag full of all kinds of groceries in the trailer, and we just had a really good time on the set. They were shooting a show next to us with Kim Basinger on our first couple of movies, and she was riding a bike around the lot, so we stopped her on the bike and started talking to her. I don't know, we just got away with a lot of stuff. So Mae West is on the set with me, and she's got an earpiece on because she's 85 years old, she can't hear. She couldn't remember her lines. They're giving her lines, but what happened was the radio calls came in from the police department that there was a tie-up and an accident on the 405 freeway at Roscoe. So she goes, "Oh, there's a tie-up at 405 freeway at Roscoe." I said, "No, that's not your line. That's a radio report coming in. You're giving the wrong lines." So that was just a couple of instances. And then Roger and I did Charlie's Angels, and we had like a lot of work on that show. I played Mr. Galaxy and he played a competitor, and we were supposed to have a conspiracy against each other, and we met with a lot of people, and it was Cheryl Ladd, Tanya Roberts, and Jacqueline Smith, all three of them following us around. She was following me around from place to place thinking I was a bad guy. So they have a continuity person that tells you what you're wearing on the scene, what you're wearing to the next scene and on the next scene. So I had a sweater on, and by the time they followed me to another place, I had changed my shirt and put a different shirt on, and they forgot to catch it on the film. So when you see me go, the shirt had changed, but the scene hadn't. So there's no rhyme or reason why I didn't have the same shirt on. I just want to see if I can get away with it. That kind of stuff was fun. Did Man from Atlantis. Everything was underwater. I got in a fight with Patrick Duffy on the docks, and he was going to knock me in the water. I said, "No, I don't want to go in the water. I'll just take a bump here on the shore, or actually on the pier." But a few of us did that, and that came off pretty good. That was kind of fun to do, working with that. He was a good guy, and he worked out with us too as well. So there was another show. But there were quite a few shows like that, and most of us that were involved in this were all bodybuilders. They just liked us. They used us for almost everything. Man from Atlantis was a good one. Any more I can think of? I'm not quite sure. There were quite a few. But those are the ones that come to mind right now, and we just had a good time on these sets. We would just go crazy with it. I did a movie called Riptide with Joe Penny and another guy, and I had a stunt scene. And I'm supposed to get in a fight around a pool, and the pool now is McDonald's in Sherman Oaks. And someone rode a scooter, and they ride the scooter into the pool underwater. And I get in a fight with somebody, and so Gene LaBelle was the stunt coordinator. He says, "You want to go in the water?" I said, "Nope. Throw me into a tree. It's too cold out and I'm not going to get wet." So that's exactly how that happened. But there's so much things and so many laughs you have on these shows, and you make good money. You know, you work a while and you get the residuals and you end up doing good. It's not that way anymore. This is how it was back then. Nowadays, I don't know what they do. Casting's completely different. I don't know what they do with bodybuilders. I made a complaint once that there's more to being a bodybuilder when you do an acting role. You can play almost anything. Just allow us the chance to do it. So I had a friend that was a director who put me in 12 movies. And I got to play an Arab general, and I got to play a SWAT team leader, and I got to do things that normally I wouldn't have done, but he took a chance with me, and it worked out really well. So that's just some fun stuff from back in those days, and I thought you guys would enjoy it. And it's just stuff I like to do all over again. I mean, if it came out like that again, I'd do it again. Of course, I'd be at a different age now. I'd be a grandpa doing that. But I don't care. Just as long as I can do something, it's fun. Okay. That's some of my stories from Rick's Corner. I thought you would enjoy that, and we'll see you next time.
Hey everybody, I just wanted to introduce you to my new clothing line, Gym Bums of California. It's at YeahIWorkout.com, YIWO.com. I have this and two other designs, plus shorts, tank tops, there's hoodies, there's all kinds of stuff. These are my designs from the 1980s that we brought back, a whole new Rick Drasin collection. Go to YIWO.com, go through it, you can order direct. They're all brand new with my signature, and you'll love them. Thank you.
Hope you enjoyed the video brought to you by Old School Labs. Use my discount code DRASIN12 on the link below at oldschoollabs.com. Hey everyone, now you can have the Gold's Gym logo drawn by me, the artist Rick Drasin. personalized and made out to you and signed by me to frame and put on your gym wall or wherever you see fit to do so. It's a piece of bodybuilding history. It will never be duplicated again. It's the largest selling icon t-shirt logo in the world, and I'm the guy that drew it, and I will draw it for you. Just go to my website, rickdrasin.com, and order there. You can pay through PayPal, and it'll be sent out right away. And be sure to watch Rick's Corner for all the videos on bodybuilding, nutrition, fitness, pro wrestling, and anything that suits your interest as far as getting physically fit and being the best you can be from the golden era of bodybuilding.
He's the equalizer, baby. See you next time.